Everyone, Joe Gentili from Saroff Gentili LLP. So this video is for EB-5 investors that are facing what seems to be an unfortunately common problem. And that problem is for investors that get to the 829 stage, they need some cooperation from their regional centers in order to provide documents to satisfy the government. And so this could come up at the 829 stage, or if there's an RFE after the 829 is submitted, or a notice of intent to deny goes out. And the problem is that the regional center is not cooperating with you and providing you with the documents that you need to satisfy the government's RFE or to combat a notice of intent to deny. And we're seeing a lot of times that regional centers are really dragging their feet on this. And if it goes on long enough, if you miss deadlines, you're going to get a denial. So very serious situation. And we've helped some investors in this situation. We've helped them get the required information so they could satisfy the government and go forward. And the action steps that we do for this is the first thing we do is we look at the LLC agreement or the partnership agreement, depending on how your investment is structured. And we want to look for a few things with that. So we want to look and see what the regional center's obligations are with regards to providing documents. We want to see the states where they're incorporated. Because one thing we look closely at is can we do a books and records demand? So a books and records demand is a demand that you can make under a lot of different state laws, most of them really, where if you're a limited partner or you're a LLC shareholder, you're able to ask for documents from the managers to show the financial conditions, to show things about the management, a lot of different documents you can get from that, and you have the right to get them. In a lot of states, you can enforce that right with litigation, and some states even allow you to get attorney's fees if you have to go that route. We're also looking to put together some sort of breach of contract claim if the documents that you're promised and the cooperation that you promised is not forthcoming. So we analyze all that, and then we make a demand. We send a written demand saying that we're asking for the various documents that you need to respond to the government. We're doing that through a books and records demand, and we're saying that if you don't do it, not only is it a violation of the books and records statute of the state of incorporation, but it's also a breach of contract. So we're putting them on notice, and we're saying, if you don't give us this information within X amount of days, we're going to sue you. And that would be the next step. The next step is filing a lawsuit where you're alleging violations, saying that they didn't comply with the books and records demand and that they're breaching the contract. The other thing that you have to do, because you're on a really short timeline to get these documents to respond to the government, a lot of times you have to ask for a preliminary injunction, which is basically a tool that you use to tell a judge that if this doesn't get done in a hurry, there's going to be irreparable harm that's done to me. Things that, if we get a denial on the 829, if we lose the green card, if we end up in removal proceedings, these are not things that could be fixed with money. This is real harm that just can't be fixed. So, judge, you have to do something quick and force these people to comply. And that's the step that you hope it doesn't get that far. You hope that making the demand, you get a compliance. But if you absolutely have to go to court, this is how you're going to have to do it. You're going to go forward with a preliminary injunction, and those carry a lot of weight. If that gets granted, you're in pretty good shape. So this is that's the game plan to get documents if you need them in a hurry. One other piece of advice I would give you is that these lawsuits, as far as lawsuits go, can be done quickly. You could definitely do it on a condensed time frame if you're moving for a preliminary injunction. but these things still take time. So if you have the sense that management is dragging their feet, they're not giving you the documents that you need, and you're worried you may not be able to get it in time, don't wait until the last minute before you contact a lawyer and look to put the strategy in motion, because it will take time. The more time that you give yourself to have this play out, the more likely you're going to be successful with it. If you wait until, a couple of days are left, until your responses are due, it's likely too late. There's really nothing you can do. So give yourself as much breathing room as possible if you're getting a sense that they're delaying, and put this playbook in motion. That would be my recommendation. And these, just one other thing with it, these are complicated. This is a complicated playbook to go through. It brings in parts of immigration law and securities law and state corporate law. There's not many attorneys that are well versed in all these different areas and litigation that could actually effectuate this strategy. So my firm and myself, I spent a large chunk of my career, or at least the beginning of my career, handling cases, litigations for securities law violations and corporate governance issues. So we're well versed in that area, and we're well versed in immigration. Not many people have that. So if you're not going to go with us, if you don't want us to handle your case for whatever reason, that's fine. I suggest you find some other firm that has, or another lawyer that happens to have all these different areas of expertise, or you could put together a team of lawyers that have that that mix of expertise. But it's important to have, especially since you're going to have to move on a very short, condensed time frame. If you're not well versed on this stuff going in, there's not a lot of time to learn it. So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And if this was helpful, I encourage you to subscribe. Thank you.